As I mentioned just moments ago in the prologue, there has been so much news about Deadpool 3 in the MCU in the recent Marvel trades that a lot of us speculated there might even be an announcement at the most recent CCXP where Ryan Reynolds and Marvel Studios were coincidentally at the same time. And while that wasn't to be, it's seeming more and more likely that all those imminent Deadpool 3 announcement rumors might have had some validity to them, as Ryan Reynolds confirmed in his most recent interview that they're well underway. And in direct response to questioning on Live with Kelly and Ryan if he could share anything about Deadpool 3, he had to say, quote, "Yeah, we're working on it right now with the whole team. We're over at Marvel Studios now, which is like the big leagues all of a sudden. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, we're working on it." And if you wonder what that specifically means, it's not yet in production. That means it's in pre-production, which gives the timetable a little bit more clarity as we move into hopefully what's the end of Phase 4 and the beginning of a Phase 5 announcement next year at San Diego Comic-Con. If they're in this pre-production phase right now, where they're trying to figure out how they're going to integrate Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool into the MCU, then there's a good chance it'll move into production in the next 12 months, as long as the script gets done on time, which means we can expect to see this movie at the latest, most likely 2023. We've talked about this a lot recently at the channel, how Deadpool was sort of the one outlier, especially with Ryan Reynolds' attachment to the role, that had to be dealt with by Marvel Studios. Despite all the failures over at Fox, this one character and property as a potential billion-dollar franchise needed to be worked on, and right soon, definitely sooner than later, and it seems as though they've done just that. A release in 2023 or 2024 was as long as I speculated that Marvel Studios would want to go before reintroducing the character. And if it's true now that they're in pre-production and already working on it, then that's something that we can absolutely expect. Now, speaking of Marvel Studios and Disney having to figure out quickly how to introduce the character, the most recent report is that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness would be the first time we'd see Deadpool in a cameo in the MCU, that during their expedition throughout the multiverse, one of the places they would stop would actually be the Fox X-Men universe. I'm not sure that I buy into that, and I explained my problems with that in the first place, but it would also, and as I said then, offer Marvel Studios a pretty easy way out and an even easier way to explain inconsistencies going forward with any characters that get recast or not crossed over. Also, speaking of which, Deadpool himself, one of the most credible sources, has said that this character will still be Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, the same that we've seen, except in a different narrative and universe. And of course, with Deadpool's sense of humor the way that it is, there's no doubt he'll be addressing this with the audience a couple dozen times through asides. Either way, Marvel Studios seems to be hard at work figuring out exactly how they want to do this. The rest of the reports about where he would cameo first, crossing over with Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, eventually crossing over into the Avengers, and or ever teaming up in a Spidey Pool movie, all these are back on the table as we're going strong into the Phase 5 announcement that we're all hoping we'll get at San Diego Comic-Con this upcoming summer. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about all of this, specifically how hype you are to get Deadpool in the MCU, Ryan Reynolds' version of Deadpool, and what characters you think he would cross over with best for an introduction. Also, how do you think they're going to do all this? Do you think they'll keep some of those same X-Men characters that were in his movies before? Will that juggernaut cross over into the MCU? A lot of places and sources say that that's not the case. It's going to be full